when they first, if they want to get into the industry, like I said, branding is really big. Branding yourself, and of course, mentorship. But when I say branding yourself, I mean actually building a brand around the person that you are before you actually create a separate brand, because you have to know yourself at the end of the day. You have to know, what you want to get into and why you want to get into it. And that creates your why, your purpose, and things like that. So I think those are some tips. And then also just,
So you
I think
sold. So what did you sell first? Like in 2017, what was the first item you sold? Like,
one of my leaders,
so who bought it?
a lady back in Fayetteville. Yeah, so I was like, I was really
How did
nervous.
you feel, man?
I
How
was
was that feeling?
I was nervous just because like when I got that first order, it wasn't what I wanted. It was defective, lower quality. I ended up throwing away 60 pair of shoes from that order. And it was 150 pair of shoes. So,
Well, I already know, bro. You know how many, I tell people, I changed. I remember I had bought shirts that shredded like fucking paper. Like, I tell people, just because the product is cheap, so you can try to get that, that maximum dollar. I realized real quick that you have to sacrifice profit for quality.
and then also you have to charge what you're worth. Charge what the value that you're really worth. Don't undervalue yourself. Don't go out into the
I
industry.
always tell people that too. I always tell people, look at the market. Like I tell people, the market has a range. You need to figure out where you fit in that range. That's what I tell people. It's not, if you feel like, I'm not going to sit here and say, like we have products on the website that are, lower cost, because we're not really so much trying to make like $1 million off my coffee mug. I'm not going to be able to make $1 million off that mug. So, that certain things I think have certain prices, but I agree with you on value, because I think a lot of people don't really understand how to create it, and they just want to sell stuff. Us, our people. But
yeah, that's a big thing. Just want to sell stuff and not know how to brand it, package it, present it, and promote it to the media.
Okay, let's get, because I want to know. Okay, so fast forward 2017, we sell our first shoe, like you said. We're getting rid of defective product. Now what?
I just had to find an investor to kind of help jumpstart that back up. So I got some help, and because I was back to nothing. I started with nothing. I was back to nothing. So going through that was a really tough situation too, because a lot of people that wouldn't be passionate about it, or really, I think situations like that really test you to say, okay, you really about this shit, or you just trying to do this shit just like for the hell of it. You just out here just doing whatever. So making it through those situations allow you to have something to look back at 5 years later when you're faced with an obstacle, and you're like, damn, that was a lot worse than what the fuck I'm going through right now.
I already know what you're talking about. I had a similar experience, like back when I had literally 10,000 followers. I never forget it. I used to go Instagram live, and I would have like 2 people watching me. I would have 2 people watching me, and I'm sitting here trying to motivate them. And it's funny because I'm trying to motivate these 2 people, but I'm the one that's not feeling motivated right now with my company. Like the down phase.
So it's that goes back to understanding the process and trusting it too. You got to know that if you got to, somebody asked a question on my live last night. They were like, how do you market a product if you don't have a large audience? And you have to understand that you have to focus on that small audience, because you need to nurture them, and then it continues to grow. You add value to who you have right now. Add call to actions. Start to add value into their life, and then you'll see that 150 people start to grow.
You learn too. You begin to learn. I always tell people, when you understand who your target audience is, because I said you got to learn who your target audience is. I never really understood that term until I truly, like you said, I agree with you, until you truly just start to focus on what you got. A little bit, because you need to figure out what they need. The small audience got needs too. Like if somebody's saying, okay, they're questioning, I like to call them, I like to say, when you have a small audience, it's kind of like they calling you out. Like, okay, Dapper, like you said, oh, you really about this shit? So what you got? Let me see your shoe. Okay, all right, I'm gonna buy a pair. Let me check him out. You know what? He's kind of dope. And then, boom,
Yeah, and I feel also like having 150 followers, if they're all 150 people are like supporting you, that's great, because some people have 20,000, 100,000 followers, they can't even sell a T-shirt. So you have to understand that if you got 100, like quality over quantity is definitely very, very important. That's why businesses are going to micro influencers, because their audience is more engaged than people that have unauthentically built their community
We
just
gotta
for the
work
book.
together anyways because we black. I mean, we on the internet now. It's coronavirus, so we need to do this interview just because we black folks. And you're an entrepreneur, I'm an entrepreneur. We need to work together anyways because there's no reason. Like I always tell people, there's no reason, there's no excuse why you can't build and connect with people right now. Because I built
Yeah.
this is one reason why I built my company for entrepreneurs like myself and you. And I'm glad that, thank you for being on my platform, sharing your story because you know how I've had no lie, I'm not gonna even lie to you, brother. I've reached out to people, they say, you wanna be on your YouTube? Oh, you gotta pay me 500. I'm like, what? Like you this so-called boss that's trying to help people. Wait a minute. You're not Cardi B, son. You're not Megan. I'll pay Megan Thee Stallion 500 to sit down for me for 15 minutes. I would, because I'm a media. Like I'm going to get a press pass and everything. I'm media. So I'll pay Megan Thee Stallion 500 for 15 minutes. But you? What? No, like,
you?
like, come on. Like, I'm just being real for a second. Like,
Who are you?
Like, I don't know. It's like, I think some people really, they overvalue themselves on YouTube. So they got like, okay, you got 300,000 followers. You got a website. You may be making some sales, but you're not Soulja Boy, man. Like,
I mean, people got to understand that just because you got a lot of followers don't mean you're really popping, like you're really making money. People don't really know how to monetize their audience. Mm-hmm. So that's the thing too.
I think a lot of people also.
They were looking like, what the fuck is this over here?
That's a bug over there with the light. It's all good though. I think a lot of people truly don't follow their passions and everything. I was going to talk about that too, because it seemed like you said like this pain drove you to go all in fashion, right? So how did you overcome adversity, man? Like how did you overcome? You're a dude, you got into this shoe game, you don't know nobody who done this. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. It's kind of like a mind-boggling story a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. When I really go deep into my story, it is like, damn, like that's very. And I feel like everybody that becomes truly successful, like extremely successful, has a really, really, really great story, and they know how to package it, and they know how to present it. So, you have to understand that the things you go through so you can relate, so people can be able to relate with you, and you have to go through multiple different things so you can relate with to multiple different people. So, facing adversity, bro. I set my mom's death at the top of the list of the worst thing that can happen to me. So beyond that, there's nothing that can top that. So even get
natural causes, if you don't mind me asking.
Oh, she died from bowel obstruction. So I mean, and then they had surgery on her intestines, and then they snipped it, and they had to reattach it, and it was leakage, and then so her insides got infected. Yeah, so it was like terrible, bro. It happened like quick. So it was like, yeah, it was unexpected for sure.
Yeah. So unexpected. So were you mama's boy or?
Oh, yeah, me and my mom. That was everything, man. That was she number one source of support for the business, motivation. So definitely like mom was definitely everything.
Man.
You looking like
I'm more like I'm mind-boggling a little bit because it's like I lost my aunt who was my mother figure, but I can't imagine. I lost her in college too, but I can't just imagine her helping me build. She did push me to because she didn't know about Black Knowledge. Black Knowledge actually was, and she knew about my company too, and she kind of pushed me as well, but she didn't really so much help me, but she kind of.
My mom was right there, bro. Like credit cards to pay for the samples. She posted on social media, like.
So I know you like. This is for mom. This ain't just for me no more. This is the legacy, son.
So yeah, anytime something becomes bigger than you, bro, you had a torch passed on to you, and you have to carry something on. And then if you that was something to have in the beginning, like, okay, I got to carry this on for me and my mom, and then my future like family. And then after you get it out there, and you start promoting other people, thousands of people. You're like, yo, if I give up, I'm giving up on my mom, myself, my future family, the thousands of people that look up to me. So you become this public figure. And and if you're really built off authenticity and built off a solid foundation, you're like, fuck, I can't really give up because I see my true purpose and my reason for being here. And it's a lot bigger than, this obstacle that I'm trying to overcome right now. So this fucking marker. I'd rather continue to push forward to inspire people because I know I've inspired people through losing my mom. and different things like that. So I know I'll inspire even more people by getting through this current situation I'm in right now. So that's kind of like my mindset in all of my different, situations.
Okay.
Who the fuck? Oh, this is Sean. My shit be my shit be.
You're an entrepreneur. Like I said, we don't. We probably not gonna be editing nothing anyway, just because I'm trying to look. I like to keep it real. Like this ain't no, we don't need to edit no Zoom. I ain't got time for all that.
You stupid, bro.
We finna tell the truth. We trying to drop the knowledge to these people. Okay, he got a phone call. Keep it moving. So how did you? Okay, we sell our first shoe. We got investors. We got things together. Are we just selling shoes now, or do we have other products? Or
right now? Well,
right
the LFLS is just shoes. So I mean, that's just shoes. But through me, I do a lot of different shit. I have my events company. I got a T line I'm about to drop. I got the digital.
How did you get into all this? Like, you know what I'm saying? We all we like la 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 la. Like, hold on, like.
I feel it all. Everybody understands that they need like 7 streams of income. That's a necessity. Like if you're gonna become like truly successful generational wealth, you gotta have multiple streams of income. You gotta like diversify your portfolio. So but it starts with planting that one seed. Once you plant that one seed, it's just like a you're really like off.
I'm listening. Like I'm absorbing. My bad. You got me.
Oh, you be like. But
no, I'm looking. I'm kind of listening, but I'm not bad. I'm looking.
But but you from like when you plant a seed for like a tree, for example, you plant a tree. It's one seed, but when it starts to grow, it branches off into different things, and then the last thing to grow on that tree is the fruit. So that's one thing to always understand. Like the fruit from your labor are going to come after everything is grown and been like watered and nurtured. So that's the last thing to come. You can't really be worried about that in the process. But plant that one seed and the seed grows out and it branches off into different things that coexist with that one seed that you planted. And I feel like that's how everything has happened with Dr. Dapper, the outlet, the LFLS, the Dose of Dapper Tea Company, the digital guide.
So how you feeling right now? It's 2020.
Oh, bro, what? I feel good. I feel good. I feel like.
I feel like the coronavirus is like. I mean, first of all, shout out to the knowledge seekers watching this. If you made it this far in the interview, but I really appreciate you guys taking the time to watch us try to educate you guys on things like this. Because I want let's take take a time to really, because I know I know it's a lot of topics that you be wanting to hit and go in on stuff. So this is the opportunity for us to take that time to really talk about like some topics that I think like. I know 3 that I want to talk about, and I know there may be few you want to, chime in on. The first one I want to talk about is coronavirus. Okay, I built a YouTube channel. I'm gonna post this week, the week of May, the first week of May. So just so I know, I'm gonna release this now, but I already have 70 followers, and I made my page about a week ago. And it's funny because my team got on me, bro. I swear they got on me and said, you should have did this 3 years ago. You waited till a pandemic happened. I'm like, well, I had to learn the skills. Like you said, I had to learn about editing. I had to learn like Zoom. I had to get a microphone right now that you see, like a banner. I had to learn some stuff. I can't just go off and just make YouTube videos, So now I feel comfortable doing that. So how important to you do you think for Black entrepreneurs specifically to own their business or pursue entrepreneurship right now?
I think it's big because I think this has shook up a lot of people and let them notice that they've been in a cycle, whether it's positive or negative, and they haven't given themselves enough time, or they haven't invested in themselves enough. So it also has taught people that people can't operate without their boss. So that's one thing that people should really start to realize, that okay, I need to figure out how to create something to where I'm not relying on this business or this job, because like in this moment a lot of people lost their jobs. So it's like, okay, what are people falling back on? They're falling back on faith, or they're falling back on bullshit, like nothing. So I feel like it's very important to understand that you need to build your own shit so you can have other streams of income, so you won't stress. Because if you're a person that stresses in moments like this and you panic, you want to make sure that you have something to where you can be productive in this moment. Because if you're one of the people that's been like, oh, if I had time to do this, this, and this, I would do it. Or I wish I had time to do this. And it's like, you got nothing but time right now. And, a lot of those people that say that shit still aren't going to take action. So, I feel like it's very important to invest in yourself in this moment.
My bad, I was telling that, like, I think that people are starting to wake up a little bit. Like me, I mean, like I said, I've been telling people, get your business 3 years ago, get your business started, get your website going, build a online presence. I have been saying that, and now my business is booming. And it's not a bad thing, it's more of a awareness thing. Like, you should have been on the internet. Like, I think us as Black people, we're afraid to we think everything is scam. I laugh. Let me tell you real quick. Let's talk about this for a second. Pause, because we both probably got ADHD, but we got to talk about this. Man, $100 for $800, but you won't drop $100 to build an LLC corporation.
Bro, fuck that little loom shit.
Bro,
get the fuck out of my face.
Yo, and I'm telling you, these same individuals will not even put $100 on an LLC
into something that's gonna be long lasting, because and even investing in knowledge, bro, because people can't take knowledge from you. If you drop $71 and buy all 4 of my guides, you got knowledge and gems to make you thousands, and you have that knowledge in your mind forever, and that's something you can pass down. But if you drop 100 just to make 800, you gotta pay rent. You gotta, if you can give a man a fish and he'll eat for a day,